Hey, this is how I make my no-measure lard crust for pies. I just sort of take a dollop of flour, 2 of them, and 2 makes about either a good-sized pot pie or a double crust. And I mix a little bit of salt. I usually just do it in the palm of my hand, but about a teaspoon, really. It's not that much, but there's a little bit of salt in there. Turn her on, and I've got my lard at room temperature, so it's not like melted, but it's soft. So my lard is softened, and I just start sticking it in there. And what I'm looking for is for the flour to look crumbly. I think some recipe books say that the size of pea, it's just a pea-sized crumbles. And you just look at it. And I added some more. You can see what it's doing. It's just kind of moistening. If you get a little too much fat in there, it's not a big deal. It makes for a yummy crust. And if you want, you can add a little more flour then too. As you can see, it's starting to break up into there. I'll take a peek at it here. Show you what it looks like. What you do is you tell if it holds together when you squeeze it together, then you're looking at a dough that's easy to make. But this isn't quite there yet, so I'm going to add more fat. Adding more fat into it. As a general rule, for a recipe, if you really want a recipe, 2 cups flour, 1 teaspoon salt, and about 2/3 cup of fat, which is lard or shortening. Butter does not work very well because it usually falls apart a little bit, but it probably tastes good. And as you can see, it's more crumbly than it was. So we'll do the squeeze test. Kind of squeeze it and see if it holds together. And you can see it's holding its shape. It's not just falling apart in my hand. And it'll crumble when you push it apart, but it's holding its shape when I squeeze it. And that's what you're looking for. And so at this point, I'll scrape the edges to get all that extra fat off and mixed in, and then we'll add in some cold water just in a second. Alright, so I've got my fat all mixed in real nice. I kind of cleaned out the bowl. It looked like it could use it. And just take another look at it before I add the water. It's moistened real nice with that fat. That's what you're looking for. And when you squeeze it, it holds its shape, and it also is just evenly mixed and real nice. At this point, you could store this in your freezer just like this, and then add your water at another time when you're ready to make your pie crust. But now I've got my ice cold water, and you're going to add, usually they say 2 to 4 tablespoons. I like to look at it. It's one of those look things. So I don't pour the ice in, just the water. And cold water really helps for a nice crust. So a little at a time, watch how it sticks together. A little bit more. You don't want any dry flour at the bottom of the bowl, but you don't want it to be too wet at the same time. So this is it's gathering together, sticking together really nice. So I'm going to stop adding the water. Just doesn't need it, but it's not wet, so I don't have to add any extra flour. You can see it's making a nice dough. And when I pull it off of here, it's not too sticky where it sticks to my hand, but it holds its shape together, and it'll be really nice for rolling out. And that's how I make my pie crust. Okay.